Greetings, fifth graders. It's time for reading. For class today, you need to take out your anthology book, and you also need to take out your worksheets that go with Bud Not Buddy from your folder. They will be worksheets page 140 and through all the way through 142. They should be paper clipped and stapled together in your folder that you got from school. That was not the right button. Present is what Mrs. Org wants. All right. So here is a picture of what the worksheet looks like. It says Bud Not Buddy at the top. There's a spot for your name. You don't need to write your name because you're not going to turn in the worksheet, physically turn in the worksheet to me. Anthology book is where you want to have out. Open up to page 366. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to read from the anthology. We're going to read the question at the top of your worksheet. Then we're going to fill in the graphic organizer, and then in the Google Classroom, there is a link, a form where you are going to write one sentence to complete the sentence starter at the bottom of the page. So let's get started. First off, we have to read page 366 in our books. So open up your anthology book to page 366. Pause the video if you need a little bit of time to get there. Here we go. Page 366. Right when I got near the kitchen door, I could hear Herman E. Calloway saying, "And so that's how the cookie's going to crumble." Miss Thomas said, "You have no idea how bad those orphanages can be. It's no place to be raised. I can't believe you. You'll take care of any stray dog wandering through this neighborhood, but when it comes to a child, all of a sudden you have no sympathy? You might not have been paying attention, but we agreed last night that we are going to do what we're going to do about that boy, and that's what we're sticking to." Uh-oh. I was glad I didn't take anything out of my suitcase, because it looked like I might be making a break for the street again. Herman E. Calloway said, "Like I said, I'm going to find out what the real story is in Flint, and then we'll see." Miss Thomas said, "That's fine. I believe the child. You, above all people, should know that I've got a sense about when someone's lying. Uh-oh. I'd have to remember that." She kept talking. "Until we've heard otherwise from Flint, he's staying here." A fourth voice said, "Well, I'm glad to hear it. That means I didn't have to dig around in the basement for nothing. I think he's really going to like this." All right, now looking at your worksheet, let's read the question at the top of the page together. Ready, set, go. What does the author reveal about Bud through his response to the conversation he overhears? So he overhears a conversation on this page, and what do we learn about Bud when he responds to these things that he's hearing the adults say? All right, graphic organizer. He blank that he will have to blank away again. He blank that he will have to blank away again. He worries that he will have to run away again. Next box down. What else do we see on this page? He wants to make sure to blank that Miss Thomas can see when someone is blank. Ooh. He wants to make sure to blank that Miss Thomas can see when someone is blanking. He wants to remember that Miss Thomas can see when someone is lying. And the third one down, he's blank that Steady Eddie has something for blank. Steady Eddie has something for blank. He's happy that Steady Eddie has something for him. That might come up a little bit on the next page. Yep, top of the next page. It was Steady Eddie, and it sounded like he had something for me, and there's an exclamation point. So we definitely learn that he's excited for that. In the last box, he blank to get up, use the blank, and come blank. Uh-oh, I think this worksheet needed us to read farther. I ran back up the stairs on my tiptoes and down the hall to the little dead girl's room. I stood outside the room and closed the door loud enough that they could hear it downstairs. I clumped, clumped, clumped down the hall to the door that Miss Thomas said was the bathroom. When I was done, I pulled on the chain that made the water come down. The loud noise made me jump back again. Okay, so he blank to get up, uses the blank and come blank. Oh, I still didn't read far enough, but I think we can figure it out. He pretends to get up and slams the door, the dead girl's room, and uses the bathroom with the old-fashioned toilet where the water is above, so you pull the chain and then the water comes down the pipes and washes all the waste away down, and come downstairs. All right, and then your job is to finish this and then write a sentence. The author helps me know more about Buddy by, and then use some of the details in here. We know that he is thinking about running away again because of what? We know that he's happy because of what? What do we know about Bud through his reactions to this conversation that he overhears? One sentence, and you're going to fill that in the Google form. Oh. All right, here we go. Next worksheet page, we need to read page 370. 370 in your book. All right, 370. She said, I've got to talk to some people in Flint first, but if they say it's all right, we are hoping that you could stay here at Grand Calloway Station for a while. A gigantic smile split my face in half. Miss Thomas said, I'm going to assume that that smile means yes. I said, yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Miss Thomas said, before that grin gets stuck on your face, let me tell you, you're going to have lots of chores and things to take care of around here, Bud. You'll be expected to pull your own weight the best you can. We all like a very clean house, and none of us are too used to having children around. So we're all going to have to learn to be patient with each other. There's one person in particular that you're going to have to be very patient with. Do you know who I mean? I sure did. Yes, ma'am, Mr. Calloway. She said, good boy. Give him some time. He really needs help with a lot of different things. He swears someone's adding weight into his bass fiddle of into that bass fiddle of his every year, but he's just getting older. He can use some young, wiry hands to help him around. Think you can handle that? Now I knew for sure she'd looked at my legs. She must have thought I was a real weakling. Yes, or I said, yes, ma'am. My legs are a lot stronger than they look. Most folks are surprised by that. Miss Thomas said, I don't doubt that at all, Bud, but I'm not worried about your body being strong. I'm more concerned about your spirit. Lord knows Mr. Calloway is going to give it a test. I said, yes, ma'am. My spirit's a lot stronger than it looks, too. Most folks are really surprised by that. She smiled and said, very good. But you know what, Bud? What, ma'am? I knew you were an old toughie the minute I saw you. I smiled again. All right, let's look at the question at the top of your worksheet. How does the author show how Bud will have to change to stay with the band and live in Grand Calloway Station? So how does the author show that Bud will have to change? Top part of the graphic organizer. Bud usually uses his blank to blank on his own in orphanages and foster blank. Oh, I better just give you that one. Bud usually uses his rules to survive on his own in orphanages and foster homes. So he normally has his own rules, and that's kind of how he's been surviving so far. Second box. Bud will be expected to help blank house. He will have to blank to be patient with blank. All right. Bud will be expected to help clean house. He will have to learn to be patient with others because there's a lot of people living in Grand Calloway Station. All right. And the last box. He will have to blank to be blank with others. Sounds very similar. He will have to learn to be patient with others. That's kind of the big thing. He'll have to learn to be patient with others. Which is something he maybe hasn't had to do before. And the sentence down at the bottom, the author helps me understand how Bud will have to change by, and then use some details from your graphic organizer up here to finish that sentence. All right, last worksheet page 176 is what we need in our anthology. This is the last page of the story. 176. Dirty Deed said, too simple. I think we need something that lets folks know about how slim the boy is. Doodoo said, how about the bone? Steady said, not enough class. He needs something so people will know right off that boy's got class. Mr. Jimmy said, how do you say bone in French? French always makes things sound a lot classier. The thug said, that's easy. Bone in French is la bone. Doodoo said, la bone? Nah, it don't have a ring to it. Steady Eddie said, I got it. We'll compromise. How about Sleepy La Bone? I couldn't tie the smile down anymore. That was about the best name I'd ever heard in my life. Mr. Jimmy said, let's try it out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming out on this cold November night. This night that will live in history. This night that for the first time on any stage anywhere, you have listened to the smooth saxophone musings of the prodigy of the reed, Mr. Sleepy LeBone. The whole crowd broke out clapping. The thug said, what can I say but bang? Dirty Deed said, you nailed it. Doodoo said, that's definitely smooth. Steady Eddie said, my man. Mr. Jimmy said, kneel down, young man. I got down on one knee. Mr. Jimmy tapped me on the head 3 times with my recorder and said, arise and welcome to the band, Mr. Sleepy LeBone. I got off my knee and looked at my bandmates. Sleepy LeBone, shucks. This was the kind of name that was enough to make you forget folks had ever called you Buddy or even Clarence. That was the kind of name that was enough to make you practice 4 hours every day, just so you could live up to it. So let's read the question at the top of your worksheet. How does the author help you understand how Bud changes as he becomes part of the band? Yeah, there's some change that happens in this part of the story. Text evidence. What words and phrases help you see how Bud changes? Text evidence. Bud likes his new blank. He's going to practice blank hours a day. He likes his new name or nickname, if you want to write nickname. You're going to have to write small to fit on that line, probably. He likes his new nickname, and he likes it so much that he's willing to practice 4 hours a day. And then how does this help us see that Bud has changed? It shows that he is part of the band, and this shows that he wants to make an effort to belong and to feel like he fits in the band. So down at the bottom, you're going to finish the sentence. I understand how Bud changes because the author blank. What does the author give us? Mention some text evidence and how that helps us know that Bud changed. All right, in summary, today we went through the worksheet. You filled in the graphic organizer together. You need to finish this sentence at the bottom of the page, and you're going to turn that in the Google form. Number 4, don't forget to read your leveled reader. It has been assigned to you. It is in Connect Ed, so you have to log into Connect Ed, click on the to-do box, and read the leveled reader that has been assigned to you. Don't just go in anywhere in Connect Ed. Go to the to-do circle and click on the leveled reader that has been assigned to you. Once you're done reading it carefully, log into AR and take the AR test to show me that you read it. All right, that is all for today, 5th grade. Thank you for joining me. And it is time to say goodbye. Bye, 5th grade.